Hello, I am a junior student currently enrolled in Southern University's social work program. And today in this video, I will be explaining the terms informed consent and confidentiality. And the objective of this video is just to explain how these terms correlate to a social worker's duties to their client. Consent should always be used before a social worker provides services to a client. And informed consent is just when a social worker uses comprehensive language to educate a client on the intended uses of the services that a social worker will provide during treatment plan. When a social worker is having a conversation with a client about the uses of a service that the social worker will provide, a social worker may also mention the treatment plan that will be in place once the social worker and client start to engage in social work-client relationships. They may also mention the individuals who will be assisting in the treatment plan, and they may also mention the fees that may not or may apply to the services that the social worker provides. After explaining informed consent to a client, the social worker should always allow the client an opportunity to voice any concerns or ask any questions that may pertain to the subject of informed consent. This allows both parties to have an understanding agreement of what informed consent is and helps to build a great foundation for a client social work relationship. In social work, confidentiality is the belief that any oral or written communications between a social worker and a client will remain exclusively private between that social worker and that client. The client has an inherited right to renounce or waive informed consent or confidentiality at any time during the social worker's services or treatment plan. I understand that you are the social worker who's been meeting with my mother and assisting her in her treatment plan. Unfortunately, my mother was hospitalized and I'm acting as her guardian. And today with me, I have written documentation just renouncing any consent that she gave you. So this is just to say that any medical staff that works at the hospital that's treating her tries to get any information from you, I am now withdrawing those individuals' consent to that information. That's very unfortunate to hear, and I am aware of your mother's hospitalization. I have been keeping up with one of the individuals engaged with her diagnosis and treatment, and for the betterment of her treatment, we both agree that it's best that we transmit those records over to the hospital staff so that they can help advance her treatment. As your mother's social worker, I am obligated to inform you that in 3 weeks, the records will be transmitted over to hospital staff for the betterment of your mother's treatment. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. Hi, Sasha. I remember that last time that we met for treatment, you were telling me you had some really weird feelings that you wanted to explain to me next time that we met. And now that we're here, I want to allow you the opportunity to go ahead and get those feelings out and kind of explain to me what you're feeling. Well, Dr. Jackson, since we last talked, these feelings have only worsened, and since we last met, I just lost my job, and that put more stress on the things that I was already stressed about, and I just don't know if I can keep going on. Like, all this stress and hurt, it makes me want to, like, should I even be here? Like, it just makes me want to end everything, and I hate to feel that way about myself, but I'm just at my wit's end. Well, that is really really unfortunate to hear. And I know prior to treatment we did go over informed consent, and we also went over some of the confidentiality laws that you are protected by. But since you are expressing the need to want to harm yourself, I do have to get this communication record over to the proper resources that will help you enhance the way that you are feeling about yourself so that you do not cause harm to yourself. As a social worker, if you ever need assistance in making decisions when it comes to informed consent or confidentiality, it is always best to refer back to the NASW Code of Ethics.